All right, let's skip the small talk and get straight to business today. Welcome to today's Explainer, where we are going to completely upgrade your fluency. We're mastering everyday English by breaking down 5 absolutely essential native level vocabulary terms. Let's get right into it. Vocabulary term 1, dabble. Okay, let's dive right into this one. Dabble is literally one of those magical words that instantly makes your English sound way more natural, relaxed, and, well, conversational. It simply means you do something occasionally or as a hobby, without being super deeply involved in it. You definitely don't need to overthink the grammar here. You're not an expert, you aren't committing your whole life to it, you're really just having a bit of fun with it on the side. So let's hear how native speakers actually use this in real everyday conversation. Pay attention to the rhythm here. I dabble in photography during my free time. Or, I've been dabbling in cooking lately. She dabbles in painting, but she's not a professional. I used to dabble in coding. And he likes to dabble in different hobbies. Notice how light and effortless that sounds. It just flows. And this specific example brilliantly illustrates a highly conversational pattern. Check out the continuous form here, dabbling in cooking lately. Using dabbling in followed by whatever the activity is and ending it with lately is just the absolute perfect natural way to casually tell a friend or a coworker about a brand new interest you've picked up. Vocabulary term 2. Unfathomable. Let's keep this momentum going. Our second term is a really powerful one, and it carries a ton of emotional weight. Unfathomable describes something that is extremely difficult, or honestly, downright impossible to understand or imagine. I mean, think about the magnitude of that for a second. When something is just so shocking, so enormous, or so confusing that your brain literally cannot wrap your head around it, that's exactly when you pull this word out of your toolkit. Listen closely to the pronunciation as we go through these examples. It's unfathomable to me how he could make such a decision. The amount of money they spent is unfathomable. The loss was unfathomable for the family. It's unfathomable that nobody noticed the mistake. And finally, her patience seemed almost unfathomable. Notice how I naturally slow down just a tiny bit on that word? Unfathomable? Doing that gives the word the serious weight it deserves. Now, what's really interesting here is this exact sentence starter. It's unfathomable to me how. If you ever want to express pure shock or disbelief in a way that sounds incredibly native and highly articulate, you need to memorize this specific chunk of text. It is a fantastic template you can use in countless situations. Vocabulary term 3, amalgamation. You are doing fantastic keeping up with these high-level terms. Okay, so amalgamation simply means a combination or a mixture of a bunch of different things into one. Now, I know exactly what you might be thinking. Wow, this word sounds super formal. And yeah, it is often used in business or academic settings. But actually, it's also an incredibly descriptive, useful word for everyday conversations, especially when you're describing a really unique mixture of ideas, styles, or even flavors. This word is just so versatile. Like in a business context, you'd say, the company is an amalgamation of several smaller businesses. But look at how easily it shifts to art and style. Her style is an amalgamation of traditional and modern influences. We can literally even use it for food. The dish is an interesting amalgamation of different flavors. For teamwork, you might say, the project is an amalgamation of everyone's ideas. And for people, his personality is an amalgamation of his experiences. I actually want to pause on that last quote for a second. His personality is an amalgamation of his experiences. Look at how beautifully this word works in a metaphorical, everyday context. It totally elevates a simple thought into a very poetic, sophisticated observation, doesn't it? Workplace idiom, hamster wheel. Let's switch gears slightly from a single vocabulary word to a highly visual, extremely common workplace idiom. Picture a little hamster, right? Running as absolutely fast as it can on one of those metal exercise wheels. Its little legs are moving at top speed, it's totally exhausting itself, but it never actually goes anywhere. That mental image is exactly what this idiom means. Being a hamster on a wheel means you are incredibly busy, you're putting in immense effort, but you feel like you are making absolutely zero progress. So the crucial takeaway here is that this is a highly recommended gold star idiom specifically for your workplace conversations. When you're chatting with a colleague by the coffee machine or maybe catching up with a friend about your career, this is the absolute go-to phrase to describe professional burnout or just being stuck in a stagnant routine. You can almost feel the exhaustion when you read these out loud. Listen to the relatable energy here. I feel like a hamster on a wheel at work lately. I'm constantly working, but I'm getting nowhere, like a hamster on a wheel. My routine has become a hamster on a wheel situation. I don't want to spend my life like a hamster on a wheel. And sometimes corporate life feels like being a hamster on a wheel. Now, if you only take away one single sentence from this entire section, please make it this one. I feel like a hamster on a wheel at work lately. It is the most perfect, natural template. Seriously, memorize this exact string of words, and you will be completely ready to drop it into conversation the next time you're having one of those totally overwhelming days at the office. Vocabulary Term 5, Hoarder. You are doing brilliant work today. We've officially arrived at our fifth and final term for this explainer. Let's keep that focus sharp. So let's anchor the meaning right away. A hoarder is someone who excessively collects and keeps things, and very often things they absolutely do not need. It's that overpowering urge to hang on to items, creating tons of clutter, just because parting with them feels impossible. Let's look at how native speakers throw this word around in all sorts of contexts. I'm a bit of a hoarder when it comes to clothes. My dad is a hoarder. He never throws anything away. She's become a digital hoarder with thousands of photos. Notice that verb form there. I realized I was hoarding things I hadn't used in years. And finally, a little bit of advice. Don't become a hoarder just because you have extra storage. There are two native phrasing tricks you really need to know with this one. First, we often say a bit of a hoarder. We do this to soften the meaning. Calling someone a hoarder out of nowhere can be quite strong, so adding a bit of a makes it much more playful and self-deprecating. Next up, digital hoarder is just a fantastic modern tech usage. It applies the concept to our modern habits, like having 10,000 unread emails or keeping every single blurry photo on your phone. We all know someone like that, right? Final thoughts in resume and alt. Huge congratulations on mastering these 5 native terms today. You've just taken a massive step towards sounding more fluent, natural, and confident in everyday English. Now, let's quickly talk about some practical next steps. If you found the structured explainer helpful, make sure you hit that subscribe button right now for more high-impact vocabulary lessons. Also, if you're looking to take your professional life to the next level, just send a quick WhatsApp message to 938-578-2853. We offer an incredible ATS-friendly resume service that will help get your application past all those annoying automated filters and directly onto a hiring manager's desk. Once again, that number is 938-578-2853. And finally, I'm leaving you with a challenge. Which of these 5 words are you going to dabble in using today? Whether it's an unfathomable idea, a cool amalgamation of thoughts, or just complaining about the hamster wheel at work, get out there and start using them. Catch you in the next explainer.